What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this is the Lunar Roving Vehicle. It is a new Jackal by mod, other way round. It's a new mod by Jackal, relatively new. I've obviously done the Taxi DLC, so I'm a little bit far behind, but it is available on the Steam Workshop, and it is just a little bit wacky, a little bit crazy, and a little bit wild, and I quite like it. So today what we're going to do is we're going to restore this ex-NASA test vehicle. That's what we're calling it anyway, because who else would have one of these, if we're being truly honest? What we're going to do is we're going to take it up onto the gravel track, see if we can do a lap with it and what sort of time it'll be. I'm not expecting this to break any records today, and in fact, we might not even see a full lap, and I'll show you the reason why in just a second. We're going to get this all cleaned up, looking shiny and new, probably using some gold, brushed aluminium, and a little bit of carbon fibre, because, you know, it needs to get into space. So it should be as lightweight as humanly possible. I don't know why gold is an option there. I suppose it is a relatively light metal, if we're being honest. But that's what we're going to do, and we're going to try and see if we can get a half-decent lap time on the gravel track with this Lunar Roving Vehicle. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. But let's jump in now and take a look at it. As I said, it's the Lunar Roving Vehicle. Just a one config, one standard edition. That's all it is, and it's available in the barn, junkyard, or the auction house. So you can't buy it brand new at the salon, because obviously it'd be worth millions because NASA built it. So there we go. It's in very poor condition. NASA left it to rust in the desert. Rust is probably not the right option of words there. Left it to rot in the desert. So it's in very poor condition. And the engine in it is a whopping 1 horsepower CHRG E1 and motor. Can't call it an engine because it's electric, and that's why I think we're going to struggle around the racetrack. Even if we get 125% tuning, which I've never done on an electric motor, this is still going to be 2.125 horsepower. So getting around the gravel track still might be a little bit difficult, if we're being truly honest, but it should be fun nonetheless. Did we get a good deal for the Lunar Roving Vehicle, or did NASA rip us off? They ripped us off. It is what it is. We bought it for 7,246 and can currently sell it for 4,864, losing out on 2,382 before we begin. Hopefully, when we get this fully restored, we will be able to sell it on for an absolute massive amount of profit. Fingers crossed on that one. That's the goal today. Let me know in the comments now what sort of time you think this fully tuned will get around the gravel track. We will be anywhere near in contention with our top 5 on the gravel track lap time board, with a flying lap of 143.499 for the slowest. And that was probably a couple of 100 horsepower. I don't think we're going to get anywhere close, if I'm being truly honest. But it should be fun nonetheless. As I said, let me know in the comments now how fast or what sort of time you think this Lunar Roving Vehicle will get around the gravel track. Whether we see the full clip or not at the end depends how long it takes. So we shall find out. Make sure you stick around to the end to see that. But to start with, let's get this Lunar Roving Vehicle into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up, ready to strip down. She's all clean and back on the lifter, and we know we're not using an oil engine, so we know we don't have to drain any oil. So let's just get in and take a look at this little beast. I feel like this is missing some stuff, but I don't quite know what, and I'm worried because it won't show me anything. It just, I don't know, is it the drive axles? Are we missing that? It just feels like something's missing. It could be the drive axles. Maybe we need to build some more up around this, although that is, no, that's got a hubcap on it, so there's no drive axles. Okay, we'll figure this out as we go. Do not worry. But for the minute, let's try and figure out what's missing. So we're definitely missing upper arms at the back here, brakes at the back here, the hubcap on there, the complete shock. For some reason, we've got sway bar end link and drive axles at the back. But then I imagine this probably does have rear wheel steering on the moon, so it probably makes sense. So we have all the same sort of stuff up front. Yeah, no steering rack, no sway bar because I'm on mount mode, but none of that is missing. None of this is missing. Literally, that's all we're missing from this entire build, obviously, and the wheel. Depending on whether the drive axles are a thing or not. We'll find out as we go. I know sometimes they are just left off. I think this does have a part that can be used as a drive axle, but it does say to paint the drive axles invisible. We'll check it out as we go. There's plenty missing. Well, there's not much missing, but there's plenty of work cut out because all of this needs to be stripped down. One thing I do want to know, though, is do we need to take anything off to get that electric motor out? I almost said engine. I had to stop myself. Try it. No. Oh, we do. There's a gearbox on it. So we do need to get the gearbox off. So up in the air you go. Also, while that's going, I have slightly changed my audio settings. So do let me know in the comments below. Is it better, worse, indifferent? Has it not really changed anything? Please do let me know. I am trying to figure out this audio as we go. I am no audio technician. We need to take so much off this engine. It is unbelievable. Let's go back down. I haven't worked on electric engines. Motors, I don't know what to call them anymore. I haven't worked on an electric motor in a long time. So I think this needs to come off. So off you come. We're going to have a lot of loose parts in our inventory. Then we need to also take this off because I can't take that off without this. There we go. And then we need to take you off. And then I should be able to take the gearbox off. Doesn't look like there's anything blocking it, but it does need to be underneath, obviously. So let's get it back up in the air. Give this another go. We're probably going to fully strip this engine before we even get it lifted out with the crane. There we go. There's the gearbox. That's all we want. And our cheeky little rusty bolt. Just there for some good measure. There we go. Right, let's get this back down and see if it will let us now. Although, is it going to make me want to take all of this stuff out? We'll find out. Back down you go. This is why I don't play with the electric motors. Well, this proves that I don't play with the electric motors. There we go. It does come out nice and easy. Let's go and get that very rusted motor onto the stand. And yeah, it's definitely feeling very sorry for itself. Can I put any of them bits back on here? No, so they've all got to go back on at the end. That's good to know. Once we've finished with this little beast, we're going to keep this engine. I'm going to strip it down, repair what I can repair. We are obviously going to replace what can be changed to tuning parts back on that one because we do need to squeeze as much power as humanly possible out of this lunar roving vehicle to save us an hour and a half at the end. I know I've changed my times a little bit, but to save us an hour and a half at the end going around the gravel track. But there we go. I'm now going to crack on. I'm going to start getting the rest of... Start with the wheel, maybe. Start getting the rest of this stripped off. We've got no liquids to drain or anything like that. So I'm just going to crack on with this. Get it all stripped, repaired, replaced, upgraded, and ready to go back on. And then by the time we come back, we'll sort out all of this bodywork before taking this little beast into the paint shop and deciding what we're going to do with the colours for this one today. But as I said, most of the parts will probably be in black. No, so they won't be. Well, black will probably be in there, but it'll probably be carbon fibre, brushed aluminium, and a splash of gold, because that's the kind of stuff NASA does. I should have just bought a whole new motor at the beginning, because I did have to replace everything for the suspension, the underside, the engine bay. Absolutely nothing so far on this vehicle has been kept, not even a single bolt. But now it's time to work on the body work. I mean, there's not really much here, so let's just get on with it and see what comes off. What mode am I on? Like, I can't seem to get to any... Oh, there we go. There was a fender piece there. There it is. There we go. Rear left fender, off you come. What else have we got on here? Is that it? That can't be it, surely. Body 1%. It shows bare frame, but we can't swap it because that is it. That was it. But from the bodywork, we had one piece available. So there we go. Let's jump in and take a look at 7% on the frame. And obviously we bought the vehicle for a little over 7,000. What do we think today? I have no idea. This is messing with my head so much. I'm going to go 750, somewhere easy. 1,500. I wish I'd gone for the 1,500 option instead. Let's jump in, though. Come out of this. I bought everything for the engine, and let's go and have a look at the body shop and see what options we've got for the lunar roving vehicle. There we go. I've got one of these, so I'm probably going to need to replace it anyway. And we had absolutely nothing at all. So how about... let's just not bother repairing that one piece. Let's just go around and get all of these. I'm just going to press X on everything as we go around. Get this all repaired, ready to look good. But only buying the bits that we need, because I do believe there's one part in there that isn't part of it. So I've got that list. Let's just start and go around buying what we need to buy. I'm going to sell off that other fender. In fact, no, I'm just going to scrap it off so it won't worry about the costs of it or anything like that. We can just work out what we spend on all these body panels, and this is quite a bit of money for some plasticky fenders. Probably put the carbon fibre on them later, but for the minute they're just plasticky fenders. So let's get them on and see if we've got everything what we're missing. There's a thing we're missing straight away. That's a rear bumper apparently. This is the seats, but there are seats that we need to put in so that we can sit down, I believe. Front fender on you go there. there's a welder there. Forgot to put that in the way. Back to the bodywork, please. Front end, on you go. Then, oh, there's some more parts missing. Then we've got that front piece there. So now let's go on and get these bits added to our shopping list. Lovely camera, radar, antenna, whatever you want to call that, and assuming power supply maybe. Round to the back, the rear bumper. Let's just get that bought and see what that goes like. So on you go there. On you go there. We'll get you, and we'll get you. There we go. 15,000 for the rear bumper. I mean, I'm sure it's got some tech in it. Oh, no. Or just brushes and shovels to keep the astronauts clean while they're up there. I did miss this part, so we're going to add that as well. But we'll go back around. We'll get all this front stuff on. Car part 2, on you go. A little module controlling everything. Then our little communications dish and our little camera, so our rover vehicle can see where it's going. And then I think we just need to buy this piece. Car part 4, we'll go and get you. There we go. And that might be everything. I think there is one more part in the shop that I haven't bought. If I just get rid of this, it is this part here, car part 6. I think this is the axle that goes on. If you go and change the config yourself, you can add that in and get rid of the upper and lower arms, and it will look like the official part, if you know what I mean, rather than some floaty bits that are currently in there that are well covered with these wheel arches. I will give them that. But that should be everything on the body. 100%, 100%. Obviously, we've still got interior. I did forget that. So we jump in. You can see just down here, we've got two. We've got two tiny little seats. There we go. Hard to keep on them because they don't want to exist. I'm just going to go buy them at whatever they were, just because we're not going to see them anyway, so it won't matter. Do we need to get a steering wheel? I imagine so. Can I remember how to play this game? Absolutely not. There is no steering wheel. Now, will that make driving hard? Is there a tiny steering wheel somewhere? There is a tiny steering wheel somewhere. There we go. Now we know we're going to be able to drive, because realistically it is controlled by the joystick, so I guess that makes sense. Let's go and buy that tiny little steering wheel we need so we can get them in now, and we don't have to worry about them for the rest of the video. You can go nicely in there. We'll try again for... No, wrong mode. We'll try again for you down there, and then around here somewhere. There was a tiny little steering wheel. There she is. Just on you go there. Now it should say 100%, 100%, 100%. That took longer than absolutely anticipated. But there we go. We've got all the bodywork back. The frame's all welded together. She is looking shiny and new. I do feel like I'm probably just going to change the fenders on these and realistically leave everything else as it is. I'll see what happens when we go into the paint shop. I mean, that's already like black and white. I mean, it's barely anything to it, so we can't really make this any more lightweight, probably without changing anything weird. We'll see what happens when we get into the paint booth. I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely want to do something with these fenders, although I do want to keep the America flags on the back, if at all possible, while still... Oh, and the front as well, while still adding some colour to it. So we shall see, but there we go. The body's all back together. We've obviously got to sort out and colour the suspension and that little electric motor and things like that. But let's get it into the paint shop and see what we can do with the colours for this Lunar Roving Vehicle. In the paint shop then with our Lunar Roving Vehicle, and it just looks pretty plain, doesn't it? So let's see what we've got. Oh, I see. The natural finish is, I'd say, to me, that's a bit closer to a sort of bronze than it is a gold. So we're not going to use that. That is the only factory colour on there. I suppose it does look rather fitting, but I want to go for something a bit brighter, a bit more vibrant for our sort of gold finish on there. I am gonna do sort of this stuff here in that gold and see how it turns out. I'll probably end up changing absolutely everything later. But there we go. There are no liveries on it, which is a bit of a shame. So I'm going to swirl across and get this into chrome, because that's what I want to go for. And I want to try and make this as sort of as much goldy as I can. I want it a bit darker than that. That's about right. 65. That's a very bright, vibrant gold, although I don't want the wheel arches in gold. I do kind of think I want to keep this stuff in gold, although we shall see. But this at least gives me the base gold colour that I'm going to work with. So it's a chrome finish, 45, 65, 100 for the gold parts that we're going to use on this one. I am going to go in and paint all the screws, including the bolts on the rims, in a black, just to keep it going on there nice and simple, because we're going to use a lot of aluminium, carbon fibre, and obviously this gold finish on here for the rest of the build. So let's just get this painted. I'm going to change some bits anyway. Some bits are going to come off because they never got painted with the part of it anyway. I'm not sure whether to leave this in gold. It looks a bit weird, but then I guess it might have a gold coating. So I think we do leave this in gold. I do want to take these arches off, though, or fenders, because they're very hard to access, aren't they? There we go. On we go. Fenders, fenders, fenders. Just about getting it there on the lip, because I kind of want these carbon fibre. I feel like these will look better in carbon fibre. I think I'm going to leave that sort of stuff set up as it is. Maybe try and do something with this. Maybe if we can get a bit of gold onto that. Not overly too much. That is. So we'll see if we can do something with that as well. Why not? Let's just see if we can do something with a lot of the parts on here. We'll see if we can do something with you as well. Yeah, why not? Let's just take everything off. Obviously, that pulled all the camera stuff off, and that is everything for it anyway. So if I go into this, it should say, well, it says 8%. I have left something on there. Rear clamshell, the seats and the steering wheel. Well, that's this part, isn't it? Are you a part? You are a part. So you might as well come off as well. We'll leave the seats and steering wheel in there so we can play around, so we can actually drive it a bit later on. But I'm now going to obviously completely change the colour of most things compared to what we've already done. I wonder, actually, I want to know something. There is, with the quality of life mod, I can go into here, can't I, and replace the materials. Ooh, but that carbon fibre hasn't really gone how I wanted it to go. What other options have we got? Glass. A custom chameleon. I don't think we're going to go with that one, or a matte chameleon. So maybe I'm just going to make that the carbon fibre just so that it is. Let's see if we can take the finish off, put it on a bit more of a matte finish. Go back and see if it's going to let us do this. It was a bit shiny. It's still a bit shiny. Is that matte? Questioning myself. That was matte. Okay, so it won't go shiny on there. But I am going to do that on it anyway, just so we can give a splash more of something on the actual rover vehicle. And I see that's painting it the original goldy colour, but without the chrome finish. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So there we go. Now we've added a little bit, officially carbon fibre. Oh, I can sort of see there is some weave in there. No, okay, so that has gone carbon fibre. It's just a little bit hard to see at distance. So there we go. Now I'm going to crack on and paint everything else. It's going to look totally different by the time you see it again. So never mind. I'm also going to get on and paint that electric motor, all the suspension stuff, hopefully making this one look as awesome as I possibly can. So I'm going to crack on and get that done. I'll be back in a second, and we'll get this beautiful beast all back together, ready for our version of the moon, which is the gravel track. That's everything painted for our beautiful lunar roving vehicle, and it looks wildly different from the last time you saw it. So much has changed. This is now carbon fibre. This is a carbon fibre and gold, and as you can see, this is no longer mesh. It's now a solid piece. It is what it is. We're going to call it fabric, so it all folds up for transport and stuff like that. This piece here in the middle is carbon fibre and, well, nothing. I was trying to get some gold on it, but it really it didn't work. Well, it either went all gold and it looked ridiculous. So we've sort of left this in its aluminium finish with a bit of carbon fibre on there. Carbon fibre and gold on that camera piece, which is looking fantastic. We also got all the arches in carbon fibre, and they're looking pretty good on there. We've got aluminium and steel black on the seats. Obviously, we didn't want carbon fibre fabric sitting across there. That might have looked a little bit weird. And also that floor there is carbon fibre. You did see that part. As we move around, gold and carbon fibre on the underneath piece there, and gold and carbon fibre on this piece here, looking very nice. And also a bit of gold and carbon fibre on there. There's a bit of a theme going on, you might have noticed. But let's jump in and check out what we've done to the engine bay. Now, the only thing we got in here, which I did miss earlier, and I did spill liquids on the floor, we are including that in the price, don't worry, is our little brake servo, which is carbon fibre. We've got an ABS pump and module up here, carbon fibre on the module, brushed aluminium on the pump. I almost could not say that then. I've started to get a bit of a stutter, which I've never had before, but there we go. Fuse box just in carbon fibre, looking pretty good. And then carbon fibre and gold on that battery tray. Also, our beautiful Haltech skins on our ECU are looking very good. Now for the suspension, it's a lot of gold. Gold, carbon fibre on here, carbon fibre on here, aluminium on the knuckle, and carbon fibre on the brake caliper. And that's pretty much it. You can sort of see the rest of it going on there. It is almost the same. In fact, it is the same front and back. all looking pretty good in my opinion. But now we need to go and build that electric motor, and I'll be honest, there isn't much to it, so this won't take long. In we go. This is officially the main block part. As you can see, that is just in a carbon fiber on there. The next piece is the end housing, which is in a gold and carbon fiber. I think if I nip to the other side, you can just about see a bit of that carbon up there. Then we've got the power electronics controller. You can see that's gold and carbon fiber on there. This bit up, just up here at the top in gold, and then onto the inside. Now, I did one of these, which was absolutely crazy colours once, and someone said I should hide... French Toast said I should have hid all the cool colours inside the box. Obviously, we didn't do cool colours today, but all of this is carbon fibre in here, apart from, obviously, the brackets, which are in aluminium. But let's crack on. We've got the controller cover on the end, which is in a beautiful carbon fibre on there. All these bolts are just going to be black on this one today. I did want to try and do gold, but I knew it wouldn't come out looking gold, so I figured I'd just leave them in a nice little black. Very simple. Gold and carbon fibre. Just that gold bit on the end there. On this piece, on you go. Get you bolted up. And I think that's probably all we can do on the stand. The rest of it's got to be done in the engine bay. So there we go. Let's get you off the stand. Engine bay. I mean, engine compartment. What do you even call it in this? There's not really any bay. The area for the motor, because we also shouldn't be calling it an engine. Let's get you popped in. In you go, you little electric beast. 1 horsepower crazy machine, which we have tuned, which should be wild. I've done that the wrong way around. We need to go up in the air first, because we have to start with the gearbox, then pit the air filter, or the whatever bits on the top. I don't even know what to call it on an electric motor. In we go with that little gearbox, which is obviously in gold and carbon fibre. Keep it up with the rest of that theme. I thought that bolt was carbon fibre for a minute there, but it's not. It is just black. I thought that would have been incredible if we could have got that, but there we go. On you go. Oh, I've missed a bolt. There we go. I wondered why the extra bits wouldn't come up. So there we go. We need to pop it back down to get the last few bits on, and then we can crack on with these wheels. I am looking forward to these wheels, because I've done something I don't normally do. So we'll see how they look in a minute. On with the cooling hose, which is carbon fibre with a gold band just around the top there. Then the next part is our bottom fan housing, obviously in carbon fibre. And then we've got the fan, lovely little gold leaf, we'll call it there. And then a carbon fibre cover just on the top there. And that should be everything, apart from the little wheels. It's a little, they're not so little, let's be honest. They are, but they're not at the same time. So let's get in and have a look what we've done for the wheels today. Apparently, I didn't mount any of them, so we'll go and do that very quickly. On we go. Let's just get all of these together, and then we'll mount these wheels on the Lunar Roving Vehicle. There we go. Just getting that last one balanced now, and now we can crack on and get the wheels on the Lunar Roving Vehicle. On we go. We've gone for the rim 35 today. They are a 20-inch rim, which is a little bit bigger to start with. 155 profile and a 155 width and a 60 profile. Confused myself there. So it's a 20-inch rim with 155 width and a 60 profile on there. No ET needed with this rim. If you try and use some other rims, if you use the... Didn't mean to turn the torch on. If you use the brake calipers, these ones here, they will clip through. I did try a couple of others. This is the nicest one I can find. Obviously, you get that beautiful gold finish on there. There seems to be a little bit of silver running around the rim, so we'll just call that it is what it is, and our lovely black bolts. All 4 are exactly the same, so let's just get all of these on and get this vehicle back down on the ground, ready to see how much power we've added to that 1 horsepower electric motor before taking this one around the gravel track to see what records we can break today. Quite possibly slowest vehicle on the gravel track. We shall find out. But there we go. That's all 4 wheels done. Let's get you back down onto the ground. We've got no license plates for this one today, so it is pretty much done. Apart from liquids, which I've just got in the front just there. On we go. Oh, I can't do it from here. I've got to do it from outside. From the engine base, which was go in from the back to come around the front just to top up the liquids, but we'll crack on with that in a minute, don't you worry. There she is, all 100% complete, looking absolutely fantastic. It doesn't have enough white on it for me to be a NASA vehicle officially. This is why this one isn't. This is the Virtual Mechanic Lunar Roving Vehicle. So there we go. Let's get it outside in the sun, do a dyno run, and then get this one onto the gravel track for a little bit of fun. Well, there we go then, all finished with the Lunar Roving Vehicle. No plates on this one today because the DMV, DSA, whichever one it is, don't care what's on the moon. Not at the moment. I'm sure they will at some point in the very near future. But for the minute, you don't need any license plates to drive on the moon. Just letting you know that in case any of you want to go and put that one out there. But there we go. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pleased with how it turned out. The gold, the carbon fibre, and obviously the brushed aluminium. Some of the natural pieces that fit in well with the sort of brushed aluminium we've got on there, like these frame rails and this bit up here. It's all looking pretty good in my opinion. Now, normally at this point, we jump in and start it, and we are going to do that. But because it's electric, there is no sound apart from the ignition sound. That's it. That's what you get. Here, at least, anyway. On the track, it makes a little bit of a whine as it runs, but there's no rev counter or anything like that. So let's get out of that, and let's get our Lunar Roving Vehicle onto the dyno and see how much we managed to increase that 1 horsepower by. I mean, I'm not expecting much. Maybe at a push 2 horsepower, because, I mean, we very rarely get over, like, massively over 100%. So maybe we'll go 3 and we'll see if it upticked it to 3 horsepower. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But let's get this beast into the dyno and let's find out. The moment you've all been waiting for, our massive 1 horsepower electric motor powering our Lunar Roving Vehicle. How much have we increased it by with performance part? I reckon around 3. Let me know what you think. Let's find out. 7. We gained 1,193% power increase from our Lunar Roving Vehicle. 7 horsepower gained. Absolute. But yet, total power is 7. Maybe that starts at like 0.75 or something like that. So we've actually added like 6.75, so it rounds up and it's actually 7.5 horsepower in total, somewhere around there anyway. But 1,193% power increase. That is a personal best, and I don't think it's ever going to be beaten. Although even with all of that power increased, we're still at a drag rating of E34. Don't think this one's going to be breaking any land speed records today. Maybe in the near future we'll slap a big V8 in the Lunar Roving Vehicle and see what it can do on the drag strip then. But for today, we're going to take this onto the gravel track. I can't stop laughing. Honestly, I'm so impressed with that power increase. But anyway, we're going to take it onto the gravel track. But before we go there, let's see what we've done with the gearbox tune. There's nothing to do. Can you even add gears? You can't even add gears, so it is what it is. I slid this around a little bit. It was this way a lot more. I moved it all the way this way to see if it made much difference, but it really, really doesn't on this one. So I just put it in the middle, 169 kilometers an hour. Nice. Happy coincidence. I wasn't aiming for that. That's just where I left it, I suppose. But anyway, we do have a fully tuned ECU, giving us 16% over that 1,000+% we've got added onto this one. If you want to learn how to easily tune your ECU every time, there is a link in the top right hand corner up here. It's also linked in the description below, along with a link to the carburetor tuning if you want to see how to do that one for some other builds. But anyway, let's get our whopping 7 horsepower Lunar Roving Vehicle onto the gravel track. By the way, that 7 horsepower is over a 1,000% power increase from the factory. Sorry. Let's get it onto the gravel track and let's see how long this is going to take. Well, here we are then on the gravel track with our Lunar Roving Vehicle, the closest we've got to the lunar surface because we don't have the lunar surface. I don't know why I'm talking. I feel like we should just get on with this. I'm going to go into this view. I'm going to start going and I'm going to talk all the way through it. I am going to do 2 laps. I'm going to do a standing lap and a flying lap. And the reason I'm going to talk through this bit is because I'm trying not to waste too much time, because I've got a feeling this is going to take just a little while, if we're being honest. So I'm going to crack on. You probably will not see any of the standing lap, this lap that we're currently on, after I finish talking and we get it going. But I will try and show you as much as I can of the flying lap. Bearing in mind this. 29 kilometers an hour uphill. Come on, Lunar Roving Vehicle, you've got it. So anyway, 30 seconds in already, and we're only just cresting the top of the first hill around the first corner. So there we go. I'm going to crack on with the rest of this standing lap, and you will see... I don't want to say all of the flying lap in case I get really bored, but you'll see a large selection of the flying lap anyway. So let's get on with it. I'm probably just going to do this first lap in silence, and I'll see you in a second. Well, I'll bring you back in here. We are coming towards the final corner. There she goes. Nice and easy around there. Up towards a 3-minute standing lap. What are we actually at? A 2:54.908 on the standing lap. Records are being broken. This thing is crazy. The power, I cannot believe it. But anyway, let's keep going around. One thing I do want to keep an eye out is the top speed on this lap. I managed 69 kilometers an hour as a top speed on that first lap. Certainly not uphill. It was definitely downhill. Come on, you little beast. I feel like I should be in it, rocking it forwards. I am actually rocking my chair as an attempt to make it work, realizing that the momentum in my chair has got absolutely nothing to do with what's going on screen. But anyway, nice little downhill section. What can we get here? Oh, I got 70. I've already beaten my top speed on the standing lap with 70 kilometers an hour there from the Lunar Roving Vehicle. Absolutely fantastic. Now, this section is normally a jump. Definitely not a jump. We're just going to casually roll over it, and then we got uphill, so then we're going to struggle a little bit. We want to try and keep it as straight as we can on the uphill to get as much speed as we can. Unlike Super GT would say, and that is use all of the track, I don't think that is the tactic here in this vehicle that so far has reached a top speed of 70 kilometers an hour. Can we beat it on this downhill section? Although we do need to turn maybe just a little bit too much for it. Yeah, no, losing way too much speed turning around that corner there. I was going to say I'm losing where I am on the track because I'm not used to it taking so long. I was going to say I thought the speed bit is this part, but it's the next part. So it's up around this hill, and on the next downslope is where I got the first broken speed record for the Lunar Roving Vehicle, which I then smashed after the first hill. So there we go. Let's keep going around, but it was here. So I want to try and get this corner wide early, and then as much power on the exit as we can, and straighten out as much as we can for this part to try and beat 70. Nope, 69 again. That was where I got 69 last time. I think 70 is probably going to be the top speed from this vehicle as we swing it round into the forest section. 2 minutes in. Come on, you little beast. The nice 66k on the downhill just there as we come in. Now, I did get lost on the first lap. It sounds stupid, I know, but at the so slow speed, I think it's after this one here. I thought this was the last corner. So I was going along round here and I was waiting for the finish line and it never pinged. I did start talking, just in case you were wondering, to bring you back in. But then I realised, as it didn't happen, as I went round this corner, I was still 2 checkpoints away. So yeah, it's taken a little bit of time. But are we going to beat 2 minutes 54 in the flying lap for the Lunar Roving Vehicle? I certainly hope so. It has been amusing, I'll say, to go around this track at this slow speed and talk to you all. Can we beat 2:54.908? Come on, we should be able to. 2:52.580 from the wonderful, powerful, the best thing we've ever built on the channel, Lunar Roving Vehicle. So there we go, 2:54.908 for its standing lap. We managed to shave 2.5 seconds, coming in at 2:52.580 for that wonderful flying lap. Let's see what that's done to the gravel track lap time board. Absolutely nothing, in case you were wondering, and then see if we can sell this Lunar Rover on for some decent profit. Let's get back to the garage. Let's crack on. Well, there we are, everybody. The Lunar Roving Vehicle managing the gravel track in a whopping 2:52.580. I don't think I need to tell anybody that is dead last on the gravel track board. 20th out of 20. Congratulations, Lunar Roving Vehicle. But anyway, let's talk some facts and figures. We bought this little beast for $7,246 and could have sold it and lost out at $2,382 at the beginning of the video, but we didn't do that, obviously. On the suspension and the engine bay, getting all that sorted was $37,569. For the engine gearbox, what else do we need for the engine? The air stuff on the top. Oh, and filling up our little brake servo, the only liquid needed, was $6,202. For the bodywork, the interior, and welding that frame was, ready for this, $52,627. It's no wonder NASA costs the American taxpayers a lot of money every year. The wheels and tyres in that beautiful gold finish were $2,652, and we had no plates, so no plates spent today. And our paint and finishing for the entire vehicle cost $13,700, being the total spend for the Lunar Roving Vehicle $119,900. 996. Quite a bit of money on a go-kart with a few little gadgets on it, if you ask me. But there we go. Enough of the B-roll. Let's get back to it. This beautiful lunar roving vehicle. I love the carbon fibre gold and the aluminium or brushed aluminium we've got in there. I think it all looks pretty good. And it sort of all ties together quite nicely. But what do you think? Do let me know in the comments below as my dog goes absolutely mental at someone near the front of the house, because that's all it needs. I don't know if you could hear that. I certainly hope not. He's a very loud barker. But anyway, there we go. 119,996 is what we spent. Is there some money to make on the lunar roving vehicles? Have a look. As we jump in, it's all 100% complete, and that E34 drag rating just blows my mind every time. But there we go, all finished off. The engine in there tuned from a whopping 1 to 7 horsepower, and I'll be honest, the 1,193% power increase is astonishing. It is, as they might say, out of this world. Yeah, I'm sorry about that one. I tried. But anyway, 119,996 is what we spent. Is there some money to make? With a sale of over $250,000, 304,603, there is definitely some money to be made. A total of 184,607 credits profit from our lunar roving vehicle. I think we've restored this well enough. I think NASA now want it back. So it's time to sell it back to them for a whopping amount of profit. 184,607. Thank you very much, NASA. We restored your lunar roving vehicle. On to the Artemis moon landing programs, although you've got new roving vehicles for that, but whatever. It'd be cool if you used the old one. Let's see what we got coming up next as we head over to the trailer. We haven't been to the trailer in what feels like ages, although we did for the lunar roving vehicle. I can't keep up with my mind, honestly. This is my competition entry taxi for our Return of the Mods taxi competition. Obviously, we've already done all of the taxis. They aren't there, but I haven't sold them, and I will be pitting them back for the next video, because this is going to be our last taxi for a little while, I certainly hope. And I am going to compare it on the taxi board with all of the others. So let's jump in and have a look. This is the Ford Crown Vic, the VM Taxi Edition. You couldn't not do a Ford Crown Vic. Plus, French Toast did want to see a comparison between the Crown Vic and the taxi that came with the DLC, the modern New York City taxi that came with the DLC. So we'll compare these, although this is definitely very much a custom, as we jump into the engine, and it's a V8 5-litre double overhead cam supercharged Miami engine from a TK Aftermarket with 2,210 horsepower. I didn't do that, but I'll be honest, I did build and style the bodywork. Had some help picking the engine from Barker. Thank you very much for that. And then Barker went and adjusted the config ever so slightly. So this might be Barker's doing. So this could be wild around the racetrack. In fact, probably uncontrollable, which may, in fact, make it considerably slower than all of the other taxis that we did. We shall find out. It's my custom build. There's a few custom accents on it. It's pretty much based off the Drift Crown Victoria, as you can see with the wheels extended out here. So if you've played with the Crown Vic and you've seen the Drift one, similar to that, slightly changed just a little bit. But this is what we're going to be working on next time. So do join us back here on Thursday for my beautiful VM Taxi Ford Crown Victoria, or the Crown Vic, as we obviously more commonly call it. What did you think of the lunar roving vehicle today? Please let me know in the comments below. I quite want to hear what you guys think about it, because it wasn't quick around the gravel track, but it was definitely fun. I laughed a lot doing this one today. I was in giggles all the way through. It was random, hilarious, and slower than anything you could possibly imagine. But there we go. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, do leave a cheeky little like. As I said, let me know what you thought of the build in the comments below. Share this video with someone you think might enjoy it. And if you really, really want to help me out, hit that join button below for £2.99 a month and become a member of the VM Garage Club, where you get access to a Discord where we can chat, have a laugh, and I ask for some help with some builds. You get access to all my custom configs and liveries that I create, all the ones out the front of the shop there on that front line. They're all available to all of my channel members. And with Barker helping me with pipes, this taxi will also be there. So if you want access to the Ford Crown Vic, do remember, click join below. Like my channel members on screen now, you guys are absolute legends. I appreciate every single one of you. And you too could become a legend by clicking join button below. £2.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and it really does support me. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.